All right. I thought today was a real solid day. I thought our defense had one of their better practices. I felt that just the energy, the approach that guys were extremely competitive. I liked what they did, and they were doing it with good communication. You felt their presence and how they practiced today. Still some things to clean up there offensively. Had some drop balls, some missed throws, some missed opportunities. I thought some guys continued to push and elevate themselves, and you feel the sense of competition. You feel the guys trying to seize the moment with the doors that are open. We've had a few guys that that have had to go down, and it's open doors of opportunity for guys. That's one thing that I've challenged them with. I said, man, you get your opportunity, you better make it stick. And I think a lot of guys are really pushing and working to prepare themselves to be ready for that moment. And then obviously guys that have had the opportunity, make sure that they keep it and you'll continue to work and get better. But still got work to do throughout the back part of this week. But I think the guys are pushing hard.
The energy from the defense today, was that emphasis into it, just organic that way?
Yeah, I thought there was something that was built. We're continuing to try to build that. We want that identity, we want that personality, we want guys that when you step on the field, it's everything that you have, going and you can have all the energy in the world, but if you don't have focus and discipline and communication, then it's really saying work against you, but it's not helping you. And so, but that's what I liked is I felt that and I saw it, and it was. I thought the guys just really did a nice job. But yes, that's something we've been pushing just as a team in general. Obviously offensively, we want to continue to push the tempo, and how we're operating, and that's something we got to continue to focus on as we're rolling through.
Specifically, the young corners, Edwin and Quindarius, they seem to be kind of a catalyst for that energy. Have you noticed kind of their swagger the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think those two guys have really. I think as they've Quinn played last year and got some opportunities. Ed obviously being injured. I've seen a lot of growth in the last probably month from him, and I think you see his presence is showing up there on special teams, and then he's gotten opportunities out there, there on defense. I think he's going to continue to earn that. Continue to build upon that. But I like some of the positive strides I'm seeing from both those guys, and they love playing the game, and that's you feel it, you see it, and they got great personalities.
You mentioned after the game something along the lines of challenging the players and the coaches. Like, how do you challenge the coaches?
Well, everything that you see that's on the field is a reflection of us. And when it comes to the transition of things going from practice to the game, it is a challenge for us. We got to continue to evaluate what are we doing, how are we doing it, continue to make sure that the preparation aspect, the emphasis is showing up and showing the characteristics of each position, each side of the ball, and ultimately this football team. I'm responsible for all of that, and so we have a standard and a identity of what we want this football team and for this team to be, and I've not seen that been put on display consistently throughout the course of the game. I mean, you have some flash moments and flash plays, but we spend a lot of time in 365 days a year and how we prepare, and I want that to show up on game day, to truly be who I know that we are.
How do you balance like looking for different ways to reach players versus I know this works. This is what
No, I mean it's about the connection, and and every we don't coach every player the exact same way, and there's different ways of being able to make the connection. You might have to it's why you always evaluate your process with each player. Now there is a expectation of how guys are to perform, how guys are to play, but you might have to change. Some guys are maybe more visual learners. Some guys might do better walking through. Some guys on the board, and some can just hear it and be able to apply it. So to make sure that we're doing all that we can as coaches to make that connection, and then to make sure that can translate there to what we're doing on game day.
How much do you focus on what the scout team offense does against the defense? And I ask that because your scout team quarterback seemed to have a couple really nice plays today. Can you glean? I know he's a freshman. This kid could be a player in the future because what he's doing to our starting defense.
Yeah, I mean it's I think it's important that when you go and you look at how guys are operating on scout team. It's I think it is it's a glimpse of athleticism, playmaking ability, of just the way to act. But when you play scout team, you usually get somebody that holds a card and says, "All right, this is what you're doing," and that's all part of the process of growth. And it can show coaches that, man, when he understands, when he is confident in it, when he knows what he's doing, he has this type of ability. But it still comes down to the reactionary things, the calls, the checks, the moments where you have to adapt to the communication and all things that might show up. And that's where that's one of the reasons when you watch us practice, we're not just all scout team practice. We try to get speed, we try to get good on good work, even with an emphasis on what our opponent could show or might show. But because I want to see guys have to operate within the calls and communication. And yes, you can learn a lot about a player from scout team, but they also got to be able to translate that when it's time to go through and communicate a line and be able to execute a call.
I know big picture expectations doesn't change, getting better every day for every single player, but are there little picture things when it comes to DJ where it's like, all right, this week let's try to focus on this to get better?
Yes, I mean absolutely. Every player, we try to have a weekly focus of, hey, this is something that is an essential. We need to see, whether it's a drop. I need to see you take a drop on each play. Don't get caught up worried about different things that are going around. Let me see you drop, as an example. Sometimes it's you want to see a defensive lineman, make sure that they are in the absolute proper alignment on every single snap. So the number one focus if I say that's going to be the point of emphasis, I need to see that throughout the week of practice, or we're not getting our job done, or it's not showing and translating how important it is for that player. And that's where, if that's something that is not accomplished, well, that's where you get to continue to evaluate the opportunity that guys get. And so it's every position, and we always try to have at least one focus that we say, all right, this is something that has to get done. And then yes, we're always trying to grow beyond that.
Does it help to see that both DJ and Sione are familiar with town back in the days?
Well, I mean, yeah, they played against it. Obviously DJ being a quarterback that's played against this team, defense coordinator, he's got a familiarity, but it's still this year's team and how they're utilizing personnel. I mean, Cal's it's easy to see, you turn on film and they're a better team right now than what they were a year ago. And it's an impressive group, and they how they're utilizing their personnel has been very productive here in these first 3 games. And so they got offensively. You look at the running back was limited in the first couple games. He'll be back for us, and he's probably as good of a back, as you're going to see out there. He's arguably has got that type of skill. So we got to go out there and play extremely well offensively, defensively, and especially in our kicking game. You'll hear this week.
Y'all good?
All right, thank you guys.